wanted to come and check in to see how everybody was doing. Loving yourself, right? And you know, um, everything we do is based on the word, based on what thus saith the Lord, right? And so I do want to, we're going to just check in a little bit. I got a couple of scriptures I wanted to share. But then I'm going to share some love notes, right? Some notes I made to myself about loving myself, because I really do want to hear your love notes. And it's so funny. It's been such a great topic to get into. People really do want to, you know, they love this topic, right? But then it can be a little bit challenging to really dig into it and come up with something that we did to love ourselves. We had such great engagement. We had about 5,000 views, I believe, and about 200 people engaged, either, you know, just by giving a thumbs up, which was awesome. I really love seeing that, right? And or leaving a comment. And we had some people double dipping on the comments. You know, you guys, I had to check my surroundings because I'm out here walking. But we had a couple people double dip, and I just wanted to thank you guys. I know we heard from Truth Over Fear, one of my good buddies, one of the actual people on my leadership team, but also quite a few people out of town or overseas. Bates and Blessing Glory, and I Want to Be Different. We heard from you, who is actually out of town. Alice, Keisha, Precious Joy, Alenta, Ogalua. Alenta commented 3 times, which was a blessing. Ogalua did twice. And so I just wanted to shout out some of you guys for blessing our channel. It really does mean a lot, and we really do appreciate it. So, but, you know, what I do want to say, though, we didn't hear, people are excited and engaging, but we didn't hear too many people really saying what they did to love themselves, right? Or how they spent their day of rest. So tomorrow is going to be my day of rest, the 7th day of the week. And you know, some people have to work on Saturday, which is understandable. Then, you know, you rest on a different day, that kind of thing. But I'm thankful I get to do it kind of the way God did it, right? He's the one that invented a day of rest. And so Saturday is going to be my adventure day. And I'm going to get to do some really fun things that I enjoy on my day, right? I call it my adventure day. But I just want to emphasize again how important it is, you guys. And, you know, I love anything that God says and we can get insight to in Genesis, because especially before the fall, because that's his perfect will, how he ideally wanted everything to be, right? Before the fall of man. And so that's where the day of rest came in. So that's another thing that just really makes it stand out for me, right? You know, that's really close to his heart, right? So it's not just something we just want to gloss over. I'm not trying to beat it in the ground, but it does need a little extra attention because we haven't talked about it much. You know, sometimes people look at it as being under the law, or, you know, don't know how to do it in grace, right? Don't know how to rest gracefully. Some of us really do know how to rest, right? But you'd be surprised. I think maybe more old school people do. But listen, anybody up for learning how to rest and how to love yourself? Or like, what can we do, right? And so that's going to be some of my love notes that I share And we're not going to be on here long, just a few more minutes, okay? But I'm going to share some love notes at the end about what can we do? Like, okay, how do I rest, right? Or why is it important? And I know some of the feedback that we got was people saying, you know, if I put God first, that will take care of everything. And it will. It really will. But if we go a little bit deeper, right, how are you putting God first? Like, how do you put that into practice, right? Because one of the things about our ministry is we just don't want to tell you what thus saith the Lord, right? We do want to tell you that, but not just that. We don't just want to tell you what his will is or break down his word and help explain what he is saying, but we want to say why. But here's the other piece. Great teachers tell us why, but really, really great leaders and really great mentors tell us how. And it's so funny because, you know, with a mentor, you kind of get to walk with that person and you learn how. Like, you know what and why, but it's a whole different thing to learn how. And one of the things I have found is that a lot of people check out before they get to the how. Like, they're good, right? I'm good. I don't need to know all that. But the ones who stick in there, and I'm praying that you are some of those, right? That you'll get on board with being some of those. Maybe you haven't been in the past. But the ones who jump in and go that extra step, that extra leg of the race, right? It's almost like you're running a relay and you get the word, that may be the first leg, and then second leg, you understand the word, and then third leg, right, you know why, but you never get that fourth leg and begin to understand and walk out the how. And so that's where our ministry is different, and that's what makes it so cool that I'm doing a walk and talk, because I'm actually walking and we're talking about how to walk it out. And it is important. It's not just something we're just making up, right? But I want to take you to Matthew 22:36, right? And we'll post it, and we'll post it in the description, because I am walking talking. So if I miss something, if I say something make a mistake or something, we'll put it in the description. But it should be Matthew 22:36, where it's so interesting. The Bible scholars of that time, right? The scribes and the Pharisees, to say correctly, the teachers of the law, or the Torah at that time, came to Jesus and asked him a question. And they asked him, which one is the most important commandment, right? They were trying to trick him. And so Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And then he said, the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. So here's my point, right? We're getting to the why of why are we doing this? Because I really want to emphasize this, because I don't want to gloss over and everybody think it doesn't really matter, because it does. It's not just that we need to love the Lord our God, because if so, Jesus would have stopped there. If it was only that we needed to love the Lord with all our heart and all our soul and all our mind, and that was the only thing we needed to focus on, Jesus wouldn't have given the second part of his answer. Y'all with me? Excuse me. So I'm saying this to say, it's not just loving God. He's given us something else to do. right? And that is to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And so what we're going to be doing, you guys, which is so cool, I just dropped something. And so I'm going to be a good neighbor. Speaking of neighbor, I'm going to pick it up in front of my neighbor's house. But what we're going to do, love the Lord your God, right? With all your heart, your soul, and your mind. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So right now we're kicking this way of ministry off by talking about that third one, loving yourself. Once we wrap this up, anybody guess which one we're going to go to next? We're going to go to really hitting loving your neighbor. So we want to make sure we get this one, right? We want to graduate, okay? And then after we talk about loving our neighbor, right? In one place the word says, how can you love God who you cannot see? And you don't even, you don't love your neighbor who you can see. And it takes some work sometimes, you guys, because we can be something, right? People, we can be something. So that's why God's saying, once you get to love your neighbor, then that's an example that you're a candidate for really being able to love God. And sometimes we want to start with, well, I just love the Lord. Okay, how about our neighbor? But we can't even do that until we really get, come on y'all, till we get how to love ourselves, okay? So that, I just want y'all to understand, that's the why we're really emphasizing this, right? So here we go, my love notes. So I can tell, we might not have broken this down as much because we got great response, but we didn't really get too many people to break it down. And a couple things. One is, I understand you probably had some things, but you didn't want to say it, right? Because you didn't want to be judged, or you know what I would say, or what other people would say. So this is a safe place. But the thing is, we need to be okay with what's in our heart. That's part of loving yourself. And what your perspective is, that's part of loving yourself. And being able to, willing and able to stand behind, your thoughts, and being open to feedback from others in a positive setting and environment. We're all here to glorify God. So you're in a safe place, right? And we're going to make sure it's a safe place. And the Holy Spirit is the teacher. So any correction, he will make sure, right? But I'm going to give you some of my love notes, right? Specifically talking about loving ourselves through rest, right? How do we do that without being under the law and it being heaviness and like, here we go, some more rules and regulations. And that's not what God intended. He intended it to be a day where we enjoy all the fruits of our labor, all the stuff, all the work that we did. So now it's time to enjoy it and to chill, right? So here's my list of things to do on your rest day and ways you can love yourself through rest, right? I got a whole list of things we can do that are godly, that we see Jesus doing in the scripture, right? And only one thing he said don't do. And it's so funny. God is so, I love saying it this way. God is so kind and he is so good. And we try to mix it up and make it so hard and so difficult. He tells us very limited things not to do. Really, that's why he has to give you a list. Because anything not on the list is wide open. And on a day of rest, the only thing he said don't do is work. That's the only thing not to do, right? So my list of things to do, chill, right? Rest. What does that mean? Not just get in the bed and don't get out, but relax. That can be taking a nap. It can be eating something you enjoy to eat. Guess what? It can be fasting. It can be a very, very spiritual day. It can be. And guess what? That shouldn't be work. And we have to get to a point to where we get so, get the world scraped off of us enough to where we can realize the beauty and the joy and the delight of spiritual things. See, we've been so immersed and so brainwashed from whatever they advertise on TV, right? Whatever we listen to and really consume in secular music that's not lining up with the word, that we just want to do all those things, whatever they say, right? And if it's not that, then, oh man, it's not fun, or it's not good. No. So it can be spiritual things, praying, being in the word. That is awesome. But it doesn't have to be just that. You know, it can be, it's a good day. Excuse me, you guys. One thing on the walk and talk is we don't edit. But I might get in there and see if I can cut that little, I had a tickle in my throat, cut that cough off. But it's a great day, guys. Go get that hair cut. Get that beard trimmed and oiled, right? Older people really used to know how to do that. Ladies, it's a great day to go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Go get your feet done. Just a grooming day, a spa day. Doing good. Jesus did good on the seventh day, right? He healed people. So ministry is good. It's cool to do on that Sabbath day. Ministry, it was not laborious, right? Jesus did not need rest from ministry. Now that's something. That is something. That's a whole message right there. We might need rest from ministry if it becomes too much work, right? But ministry is not supposed to be that kind of work. So that's a big note right there. Ministry is not supposed to be that kind of work that really wears us out. But doing good, laughing, playing, having fun. Life essential items, right? If you need to change your tire, I'm not going to change the tire. This is my day of rest. I mean, if you can wait and do it the next day, that's cool. But if you need the car fixed, so you can go get some food or whatever, go get your kids, or, you know, be ready to go to work, then we get the car fixed. So we do essential things. And that's where it's not a law. Man was not made for the Sabbath. That's what Jesus said. But the Sabbath was made for man. I'm sorry, you guys. Creative things, right? Writing songs. How many of us are creatives? Drop my paper again. And we can never get time to write that poem, to write that novel, to write that song, to practice your instrument, right? You just love playing those drums. You love playing that guitar. You love playing that bass. You love playing those keys, right? But you never get time. You might do it for other people, but you just want to do your instrument for yourself. Your rest day is your Sabbath. You know, if it's not like a work thing, then enjoy your instrument, enjoy your writing, enjoy your movie, right? Enjoy going to the beach, going to the park. So look at all of these wonderful things we can do. What? To bless ourselves on the rest day that Jesus confirmed and that God said in Genesis we should do. So I know I took a minute on that, you all, but we're gonna close it out. But thank you for joining us for FaceTime with God Walk and Talk. Love yourself, love notes, right? I share some of my love notes, the things that that I like to do, what I did. I did some of all of those. Including the nap, I already told you. Shopping, I didn't mention that. So I spend a lot of time in my house fixing and working and doing this on the computer, in the studio, in the yard. So mine, I like to go out away from the house and do something different. So that's another way to look at it. Do something different. That's why I call it my adventure day. All right, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. What are you doing that's good to bless yourself? All right, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your rest day tomorrow. And we'll talk again soon.